What's going on, guys? It's Demonic NFT here, and we're back with my desktop screen here. We're here to get another YouTube video out for you guys. So today we are actually going to be discussing what is an NFT. So guys, we're at here, probably the most common Google search for anyone joining the NFT space. So as you can see in bold, it's a collectible digital asset that holds value. But let's break down the word non-fungible and token. So it says here it's non-interchangeable unit of data stored on a blockchain. So when it means non-interchangeable or just non-fungible, it just means that it is unique and it can't be replaced with something else. Okay, so for example, if you're trading cryptocurrency, okay, you got yourself a Bitcoin. If you were to sell the Bitcoin, you get another Bitcoin, okay, or like the same Bitcoin. It's the same thing. It's not unique. A Bitcoin is a Bitcoin. However, if we go to OpenSea, we click OpenSea, go to, let's say, stats, we can see there's various projects. These are the top NFTs right now, ranked by volume, floor price, and other statistics. So if we were to go to just Bored Ape Yacht Club, for example, there's 10,000 items, and these are all unique digital collectibles on the blockchain. So none of them are the same, okay? So it's just one of a kind. It's almost like a trading card if we were to use physical assets here. You have a physical card, it's one of one. Okay, you can trade it with someone and you'll get another card in return. Okay, it's not that you'll get the exact same card back. And token is just another word for, you know, the actual asset on the blockchain. So you purchase NFTs off the Ethereum blockchain. So this is the marketplace OpenSea. There's other types of marketplaces, okay, but OpenSea's, in my opinion, the most popular one, and also the Ethereum blockchain. There's other cryptocurrencies, you know, that you can purchase NFTs with, but right now, Ethereum is by far the most popular, and, you know, the founding father, let's say, okay? So if we break down blockchain, okay, the definition is actually in the name, but let me provide you a bit more detail, okay? So blockchain. It says it's a system of recording information in a way that makes it difficult or impossible to change, hack, or cheat the system. It's essentially a digital ledger of transactions. So if I go here to Google Images, let me see a good image. Let's click this one. Okay, fine. This one is quite basic. I hope you guys can see it. Let's see if I can enlarge this. Okay. So let me zoom in on this. So they're using money here. I'm assuming cryptocurrency, but it works the same way as NFT with NFTs, right? NFTs in a way, well, it's a token, right? The same way cryptocurrency is a token, right? So right here it says A wants to send money to user B. So in this sense, let's say for NFT purposes, you purchase an NFT on secondary sale or you mint it, right? There's this transaction that needs to be carried out, okay? So it's initiated as a block. So what happens is you pay your fees, you pay your gas fees, and on the other side, there's people waiting to kind of confirm these transactions. So you guys probably have heard the term Ethereum miners and always wanted to know what it is. So they're the ones that confirm these transactions, okay? So as it says here, this block, so this, you know, the transaction or the information in the block, right, with your address and other things that are important and relevant to carry out this transaction is within this block. It's shared between all parties in the network. We go to step 4 here. Everything is approved and rendered as valid, okay? So once it's approved, the transaction goes through, the sale gets confirmed, okay? And it's added to a chain. So the best way to explain it is like, you know, you're attaching something to a permanent chain. So now there's records, okay, that show this transaction, and now it's forever in the network. So there's proof of your purchase of this NFT now, right? So that's why it says the concluding part, it says the ownership of money, well, in our case, NFTs transferred from user A to user B. And now there's a record of this. It's almost like a receipt on the blockchain. Okay, so I don't want to get too far off track. Let's close this, and we're back to OpenSea, okay? So let's go to the main page. Right, you can go to explore, you can see all the NFTs, and you can see stats. You're probably wondering like, well, okay, great, you explained that it's a digital asset. Now, why the hell would I want to buy a digital asset? Well, it's kind of the same reason you would want to buy a physical one, right? I'm sure many of you guys collected trading cards, whether it be Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, sports memorabilia, or sports cards, etc. Right? So with these digital assets, it's the same premise. Obviously, it's not, um, physical, but there are utilities that come with it. So, like for example, I mentioned Ethereum towers in my introduction video, so I'm part of this NFT as an amenity leader. The way NFTs work is like now that you have this digital asset, or like someone has created this and you've purchased it, whether it be from a mint or secondary sales. So just to give you a quick example, you would go to buy now, see all of them that are for sale. So you would pretty much just click it, see the price, and purchase it. Okay. I'll go into details more later in other videos on how to purchase NFTs, but back to like what is an NFT. So we now know it's a digital asset and that it provides some utility. Not all NFTs do, but usually the good ones have utilities, right? Anyone can create an artwork and just post it and have nothing behind it, right? And you're just collecting the art because you like it. But for example, Ethereum towers, okay, if we were to go to the website, what they offer here is, as you can see, they have a reputable website. They have a great intro video showing how they've envisioned and what they've created. So their vertical metaverse, you can see there's 2 towers. Tower 2 is actually being launched in February, so that's quite exciting. So they kind of like explain what it is. As you can see, it's a vertical structure consisting of 4,388 player-owned apartments and a variety of communal areas. So with regards to the communal areas, that's like the amenity stuff. So in my case, for example, I'm the amenity leader for the movie theaters. And that's the thing, the community is just awesome, right? Any NFT project will have kind of a Discord behind it where they strive to create a community. They, prior to launching their project, they will market their project, create a community, and even after selling out, people stick around to see what the team has to offer in the future. So that's what makes NFTs interesting. There's always a utility behind it. So there's a lot explained in this light paper. So if you're interested in Ethereum towers, I suggest you go on the website and download it and have a read. I'm not going to go through it. Maybe in future videos I will. Okay, especially because look, as you can see, it says a document that explores the environment, mechanics, community, and technology that will set the foundations for the upcoming Ethereum world's metaverse. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, the roadmap. Okay, it gives you kind of a layout of what to expect and interesting things. So I'm not gonna go into detail about every little thing, but let me just nitpick this. Okay, so Q4 of 2021, which has passed, as you can see, foundation laid, right? So they minted their first set of apartments. Great. Now they've built like a reputation for them. There's a lot of members, a lot of purchases, etc. Right? So you can see community relations, architectural assets, metaverse discovery, technology development. So this is just kind of laying out a structural foundation and going on to 2022. Here at Q1 2022, which is, present, right? So there's the official launch, metaverse production, tokenomics productions, commercial partnerships, in-game asset production. They're telling us and they're informing us of what's going on, right? We move on to Q3 and then the future, right? So you can see that there's this in-depth, plan for the project. And that's why, for example, NFTs are an interesting form of investment. You're investing in the project, and who knows what the value of it is going to be in the future, right? Like, for example, last week, in order to get an Ethereum towers off secondary sales, you had to pay 0.3 Ethereum. Now the floor price is 0.89, and that's just based off of collaborations or just the demand that, people just want it, so the price is going to go up, okay? There's a set number of them, and that's just how, it works. And what's good is there's regular announcements in the community. So you join the Discord, you see what's going on. They provide us with updates, okay? And then even here regularly they update the news. And that's what's interesting with an NFT, right? It's not just a JPEG that, people will screenshot and say, I own it. That's not true because, like I said earlier in the video, It's a digital asset that is on the blockchain. The blockchain is there to show people in all networks that you own this specific asset, and no one can tell you otherwise. There's always going to be a history or a record of what's going on with these digital assets, okay? And people with these JPEG screenshots, you know, the naysayers of NFTs, the non-believers, are not going to be able to utilize any of these things that are like discussed here. So like tokenomics, I'm not sure if that means they're going to create their own cryptocurrency or anything like that, but let's say they were, right? People with this JPEG are not going to be able to, you know, like they're not going to be able to get that. You're going to need to own an apartment. So when I say own an apartment, I mean the NFT. Okay, moving on to another project I'm a part of. So lilheroes.io. By the way, whenever you look at websites, just you know, rule number one in NFTs is when you go on the Discord for an NFT project, there's always going to be an official links page. I would only access links from there unless you have the URL memorized, okay? Because there's a lot of people that unfortunately try scamming people with fake websites, okay? So just a fair warning. So with Little Heroes, you can see there's a countdown for the raffle because today is actually mint day. So again, the way NFTs work is you can either mint them during pre-sale or public sale, depending on how the team have structured it. In this case, the way the team structured this one today is there's a whitelist window for 2 hours. So anyone who's whitelisted will be able to mint it. Afterwards, there's a raffle where those that have been, you know, selected from this raffle are going to be able to mint it. And then if there are any supply, so any, you know, NFTs left or haven't been purchased, it'll go to a public sale. Okay, but back to what I wanted to say. So for example, we see these little cool designs, these little heroes. Okay, they're by an artist named Edgar Plans. He's a Spanish contemporary artist, right? He's always been doing physical work, and now he's taken his physical art and, you know, made it digital, right? So this is what I meant also by like non-fungible. There's uniqueness to the NFTs, right? So here you can see there's 7,777 unique NFTs. There's 150 plus unique attributes and 50 legendary artworks, okay? So each one is going to be unique in itself. There's going to be one owner at a time, and on the blockchain it's going to say who purchased it, you know, who sold it, etc. That's what's the beauty behind NFTs. And on top of that, you are going to, so say you want to purchase this, okay? You will always want to look at the roadmap and like the team behind the project, right? So again, we looked at Ethereum towers, and now we're looking at Little Heroes, right? So there's different phases, right? Here you can see it's the mint. Then at some point after like the mint, they're going to be, you know, there's going to be exclusive merch that's given to the holders, right? So there's that added benefit that you're going to be able to get some physical stuff in the real world, right? There's a bunch more. There's tokenization that's going to be considered. And then look at this. For example, this is quite interesting, right? It says beginning of an animation series production with Edgar Plants. There's rumors that this has been confirmed with Netflix, but see, that incentivized me to like, you know, actively try pursuing purchasing this NFT, okay? Or even look at this, show premiere tickets, airdrops for holders. And that's the thing. As these things come into effect, they're going to be more demanding. The price is going to be up. People are going to want to flip for a profit. People are going to want to buy in order to, you know, gain the utility behind these projects, or just own a physical piece by like an amazing artist, right? So I hope that kind of explains the ins and outs of NFTs. Oh, look, for example, here it says, what is an NFT? Let's see what they have here. NFT stands for non-fungible token. An NFT is basically data that is accounted for in a digital ledger, and that data represents something specific and unique. An NFT can, for example, represent a unique piece of art or a game token. So yeah, maybe a little bit too basic, but the understanding is that it's a digital asset. It's not, obviously not a physical one, but there is proof behind the ownership of it with the blockchain, and there's always an added benefit if there is more, you know, utility or, you know, like a big team behind the project, right? It'll just incentivize people to, you know, invest in the NFT. So that's what's interesting behind it, right? So like a physical asset, like a Pokemon card, sure, it's a cool card, it's a first edition, etc., right? Same goes with these, right? You could have, for example, it says 150 plus unique attributes, or the legendary ones. Who knows, right? We have Michael Jordan here. Maybe there's just one Michael Jordan. There's no like replicas, maybe just with like a different wing color, right? It might just be just this one, right? There's one owner at a time, and that's what makes it cool, right? The artwork itself, and then what is behind it, right? The team, the artist, as well as the utility when it comes to the roadmap and what they have to offer. And plus, look at this, for example, Edgar had posted some selected artwork on his website, and you can see this is his physical art. So these are paintings he sold, and for example, they've sold for like, look at this, 330,000, 200K, 160K, 140K, 125. So people see this and they're just like, wow, maybe the same will work with, you know, his NFTs. And I understand it's like comparing apples and oranges, but there's a lot behind this NFT project, and that's what makes it very interesting. Okay, it makes any NFT project interesting. It's not just a picture. Some can just be a picture, but trust me, there is a lot on OpenSea, which is the market. And before I actually end the video, let's see what OpenSea has to say about what is an NFT. I hope they have something on it. I think they did, because this was my best friend when I was learning about NFTs. Oh, and you can see I literally searched this a few months ago when I was getting an NFTs. What is an NFT? Perfect, here you go. Okay, I know I've probably defined non-fungible tokens so many times, but let's see what they say. Unique digital items with blockchain managed ownership. There are many kinds and applications of NFTs. But before we dive into this, let's learn about fungibility. So they kind of use this as an example. Here they say my $10 is valued the same as your $10. Fair enough. I said one Bitcoin is the same as another Bitcoin, etc. And then here it says non-fungible represents something unique in value. So one of ones, pretty much. Oh, here you go. You see, like a dollar bill, gold, even cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. So they're kind of, you know, agreeing with my example. It can be substituted with one another without losing value. They're fungible. So if something is non-fungible, it means that it cannot be replaced. It represents something unique in value, and that's what an NFT is. And then again, they kind of just break down non-fungible and token the same way I did at the beginning of the video. So the token part refers to a digital certificate that is stored on a publicly verifiable distributed database, also known as a blockchain. So we've already discussed that, and I'm not going to bore you to death. If we go back to OpenSea, I think the most important thing we might talk about is actually getting started. So how do you, I think next week what we'll do is, or what I'll do, and then you guys can look forward to watching, is talking about how do I create an OpenSea account. I think that's extremely important. We'll talk about the different currencies, so Ethereum, and the wallets that are available. As I said earlier in the video, I use MetaMask, but we'll look into this. We'll look through what OpenSea says, and I'll try providing some visuals and some walkthrough tutorials, okay? So I just want to say please like and subscribe, and I hope the video wasn't, you know, too repetitive. Looking forward to seeing you guys next week. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you later. See you later, guys.